I don't have any comebacks. See, what's the problem is I don't have a comeback for you. I can't be like, yeah,
listen, you can always come. Oh, we're live.
Oh,
and welcome to Rankin. This week, if you can't tell by my hat, the Star Wars on it. It's Christmas time, so we're doing Christmas movie to start off. And I've got a great panel assembled here. On my far left, I've got Brooklyn. Brooklyn, how's it going?
It's going. I'm concerned to be on this list. We do see old man Cody somehow found that sweater. I am still concerned. I'm still confident that he's wearing that as a dare. But yeah, this is going to be very intense, and I'm sure very heated show.
And as Brooklyn transitioned for me, we've also got Cody here. Cody, how's it going?
I'm in a really good mood tonight. I don't think I'm going to be grumpy at all. What? Wait, Brooklyn's here. Do they celebrate Christmas in Canada? Because you shouldn't get anything for Christmas if you do. It should be a blast. I have a great list. This was actually a very hard list to come up with. And I'm going to say this right now. If you nominate something that's not on my list, it's not going to make the list.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. That's a pretty vague threat.
Yeah.
Also, returning after a while, I can't remember when the last time it was on, is my team partner from Full Metal is Manning Franks. Manning, how's it going?
Hey, it's good to be here. Had I known we were going to wear festive clothing, I would have brought out my Drake Christmas sweater, because of course I have one of those. He's literally doing Hotline Bling. It's the ugliest Christmas sweater you've ever seen, and it is amazing. Next time, I'm bringing that on, just for you guys.
I would love to see it.
I kind of want to see it again, too. so good. Lovely. I love it.
And also, I've got my team partner in the fan area on Multiplex, Matt, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm just here to talk about, possibly the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah. I don't
wait. Which one is it?
I'm about to say, I know what your list is from that ranking, so.
Shut up, Caroline. I'm talking.
They won't get the joke, okay?
That's the point!
Yeah!
You knew to take 3 Manning? We do inside jokes on air. I literally got trashed by someone in the Facebook group because of an inside joke on the post.
You're right. I take it back.
Shut up.
Hashtag that's the show.
That's the channel, more like.
He ain't wrong.
But I am excited to be here since I love Christmas movies.
But yeah, as the show works, we do a roundtable discussion. Everyone nominates a movie that they think deserves on this list, and then we all vote. If it gets 3 votes, then it makes a list. If it gets 2 votes, then it doesn't. But everyone has a save, so if their pick only gets 1 other vote, along with them making it 2, then they can save it and make it get on the list that way. But everyone may end up using their save it. Everyone may not. It's going to be interesting. But to throw it over to the first person to nominate, I'm going to start with Brooklyn.
Okay, so first of all, Cody, I'm pretty sure you're now banned in Canada for dabbing. We're not 12. We're adults here. Only losers dab. Cough Hillary Clinton. Cough the Cleveland Indians. Cough like every losing team. Cam Newton. Losers dab. So with that being said, let's talk about one of the greatest Christmas films ever. Can I just nominate? I just want to nominate a movie. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is the greatest Christmas movie ever made. Chevy Chase and Randy Quaid are awesome. As the Griswolds get they try to intensify the Christmas spirit, and then like Clark Griswold snapping is one of the greatest moments ever, and it's something that everybody essentially wants to do. But it's a very quotable movie. Shitter's full. This turkey's it's still a little dry. The lighting scene. It's awesome. I love Christmas Vacation. I watch it every year.
And Christmas Vacation is on the table. Cody, what do you say about Christmas Vacation?
Well, Clark, cheers, full. I want to tie you up, leave you for dead. This movie is by far one of my favorite Christmas movies. I watch it every year. I've watched it already a couple times. What I want for Christmas is that no good it's right here in my living room. And freaking Randy Quaid, how far he's fallen, but literally goes and gets the boss and delivers him on Christmas. So I love all the vacations, but Christmas is by far the favorite. And I'm so happy actually that Brooklyn brought this up, because I've watched a Full Metal 5 where Christmas Vacation did not make the list, but another shitty movie did, and I would not let that happen tonight. So I agree with Brooklyn. It should make the list.
Manning, does Christmas Vacation make the list?
I am definitely not as ecstatic about this film as other people are. I saw it with a group of my college friends. They were all enjoying it. I kind of liked it a lot, but the hype was so overblown for me personally that I did not fall in love with it as other people did. But it's still really funny. It's one of the classic Christmas staples. I gotta say yes for this one.
Who invited him?
Malcolm, blame him.
And with that, Christmas Vacation does make the list. Matt, what would you have said?
Hell yes. I mean, this movie is... Yesterday I was at a wedding with my family. We were all talking about favorite Christmas movie. They're like, Matt, on the spot, favorite Christmas movie. I was like, Christmas Vacation. I quote this movie out of season. I can't tell you how many times when I have lazy-ass friends who don't know what they're doing for a job, I go, she says Eddie's holding out for a manager position. Shitter's full. I working here at Take 3, I can't tell you how many times I've used the GIF. Are you serious, Clark? For Chris Clark. I mean, I could just sit here and quote the entire movie. I've watched this movie there's been days in Christmas seasons when I've watched this movie 2 days. When I've watched it twice in the same day because I love it that much.
He's holding out for a manager position.
He's holding out for a manager position.
And yeah, I definitely would have said yes to this
You
as
got
well.
my house. I got the RV.
But yeah, I mean, it was going to be a clean sweep for this one. But yeah, this is definitely a great one. I'm going to go next on this one for mine, and I'm going to throw out Love Actually. This is one of my favorite Christmas. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. This is one that I watched all the time. I even rewatched it just recently because I could. I mean, I've even watched it in the middle of the year for some reason. So this is one I'd watch any time of the year, not just Christmas. But because you've got great British people like Rod Atkinson, you've got Liam Neeson, you've got Alan Rickman, you get Emma Thompson.
Liam Neeson is Irish.
Oh,
He's from that area, but you've got Rick Grimes from Walking Dead. Andrew Lincoln is in there. Chiwetel Ejiofor is there. Probably butchers his name, but there's a lot of great cast. It works. It's a great movie. Matthew, what do you say about Love Actually?
I knew. You know what? I said in my mind, I go, that one's first thing is gonna be Love Actually. I fucking know it. And then his first thing is Love Actually. He knows I haven't seen this movie. So I'm gonna say no just to spite him for saying that. One, Liam Neeson's English, and two, that Irish and England are in the same area. You know, they're just very close together.
I mean, technically speaking here, that Ireland is part of the United Kingdom.
Is Liam Neeson from Northern Ireland or Ireland?
I think he's from Ireland.
Why are we having
Time to
this
Google it.
discussion?
Because we can.
Because we can, sir.
Anyway, Benny, what do you say about Love Actually?
Say no.
Wait, did Matthew say already? Or?
I said no.
Matthew said no.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I heard that. I actually really do love Actually. Some segments or some storylines I love more than others.
Do you love Actually?
There you go.
Good job, Caroline.
That one's for free. You're welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and say it a yes. It's on my list. It's not very high, but so far it is on my list, so I'll go with it.
Cody, what do you say about Love Actually?
See, this is one of those movies that actually, if it would have been brought up later, I think I might have, because of the list we've had some no's. But since it's so high, I have a higher list. So I like this movie. I don't go revisit it, and I apparently need to revisit its IMDb page. But thank you, Malcolm, for bringing all those on for me, and wherever Liam Neeson's from. So I have to give it a no vote because I think there are better ones out there.
For clarification, he is from Northern Ireland. I just looked that up. We now know.
Brooklyn, what do you say about Love Actually?
All right, so I'm gonna say yes, purely for strategy, and that is all I will say.
Oh God.
Strategy.
That's good. It saves me having to save it.
Oh,
Are you gonna save it?
mother.
Of course he was.
Of course you were gonna do yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to throw it over to Cody. What is your first pick?
Oh, cool. So my first one, again, some people may not like it. It's always clicked with me. It's one of my favorite movies. I think it is probably my most quotable Christmas movie, and that's the 2000s How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Jim Carrey fully sells out in this movie. I literally wake up, and when Brooklyn pops up in the chat, I'm like, hate, double hate, loathe entirely. Like just his little things, like when he sits in the chair and he's like, am I just eating because I'm bored? And like he just wants to be loved. The story is so much fun with how Jim Carrey sells this character. So yeah, I have to put this on the list because it's super high up there on my list. So How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas is on the table. Matt, what do you say?
I'm gonna say yes because this was literally gonna be the first movie I nominated because I love this so much. 6 p.m. Solve World Hunger. Tell no one. And I can't tell you how many times during Christmas I do two things. One, I make a bad joke around my family, go, ha ha, that's rich. Or I don't want to make waves, but I love this movie. Was one of the first movies I was ever obsessed with. There was a year around Christmas where this was the only Christmas movie I watched, and I literally would like try to recreate the mannerisms of Jim Carrey and speak like him, and it annoyed my family to no end. This is a yes. I love this movie so much. And I'm so glad that
press the star key.
Can we also talk about the fact that me and Cody are pretty much on page so far this entire episode? I'm so happy about this.
It's weird.
This is great.
I like
This is really weird. This is weird, but I accept it.
Brooklyn, what do you say about How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
You kids, you young kids.
I will hunt you down and gut you like a fish.
Sure,
If you'd like to
cool.
catch me, press the star key.
The animated TV special is the much better adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And it whole is it ever. We should play with that sometime. But I am going. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Double eight. No.
You gotta get the head.
I am going to say yes. Purely because I actually had a reservation for dinner with myself at 7:30, and I did cancel it. So I'm going to say yes.
Cancel that again.
Manning, what do you say about How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
See, I would vote for it, but what would I wear? I adore this movie. Yes.
That's it. I'm not going.
Child mentioned to check. No, I didn't. All right, fine. She didn't.
Yeah, it would have been.
I want to watch this movie again.
It would have been a yes for me as well. I really like this movie.
You did not.
And I mean,
bro.
Cody.
No.
Jim Carrey is the Grinch. I mean, I haven't seen the new one
Yeah.
yet, so I don't know how
Cumberbatch
good that
can't measure up.
Cumberbatch.
You're not missing much from what I hear.
Yeah, I've heard it's very low. Cody, by the way, you should really make this the Christmas movie watch along, just so we can sit there and quote it. It's gonna be fucking fantastic.
I think we're gonna do like Christmas movies. I think like Christmas Vacation, something else, and Grinch will be on that. I'm pretty sure.
But anyway, I'm going to throw it over to Matt. Matt, what is the first one you're going to bring up?
All right. Well, now since Cody took the first, there's the first one that I'm gonna. Should I just go for it right off the bat, Malcolm, or should I wait? I don't know.
Go for it. I think I know what you're going for.
Do you really wanna? Do ya? Well, I'm gonna bring up, of course, it's a little film from 1987. That is, of course, Lethal Weapon. This is a Christmas movie, people. Here's why. It takes place during the week of Christmas. The final fight takes place on Christmas Eve. They have Christmas Eve together, and they exchange gifts with one another. And it is also about the human spirit. It's about being reborn, just like Jesus was born in a manger. Now, I'm not saying Mel Gibson's Jesus, but he likes to think he is. So he also made a movie about Jesus. Regardless, this is one of the greatest action films of all time. Mel Gibson and Dan Glover are my favorite on-screen duo. This movie is amazing. So yeah, Lethal Weapon.
This wasn't the one I thought he was going to go for, but
Nope.
never mind. And it's a no for me. I'm not a big fan of the Lethal Weapon franchise. And honestly, like, well, yes, it does take place at Christmas. It's not one I consider one that I automatically think of when I go to Christmas movies. So it's a no from me. Manning, what do you say about Lethal Weapon?
Kearns, I love Kurt Russell. There you go. There we go.
That's a stereotypical list. You want this to be some stereotypical list from AFI or the real list?
Well, you're talking to a guy who's like a big Oscar like lover, and so those official lists make my day.
I think
love
this
those
won
official
an
lists.
Oscar.
Wait, can someone check this? I don't believe this. I don't believe this statistic. Someone check it up.
Wait, hold on. If it won an Oscar, will you?
Okay. Let me now get to the nitty gritty of this. I think it's a good movie, but it's not a movie that I think of when I think of Christmas.
It's only nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, good for it. Yeah, it's not a movie that I gravitate toward Christmas time. It's one that I've seen once on Netflix, and I was like, "This is fun. This is good." But it's nothing that I want to visit to for Christmas time. So it's a no for me.
Cody, what do you say about Lethal Weapon?
Oh, Matt, I'm getting too old for this shit. But I'm not getting too old for this movie because me and Matt totally agree. This movie is fantastic. I watch it. I've watched it a couple times. This is by far one of my favorite action movies. Best probably duo on screen. One of the best two duos on screen. 100%. They worked well, and Gary Busey's in this, guys. Gary Busey.
This was pre-batshit crazy when he's like, I'm sorry, the fire on the arm scene, the lighter is fucking scary.
I give this a 100% yes vote, and Matt, if it gets one more no, you know what to do.
Yes, I do, sir.
Brooklyn, what are you going to say about Lethal Weapon?
So I'm the deciding factor yet again, right?
Yes.
Oh, people are gonna love this. So I made a decision before the show that either this movie or the movie that is probably gonna get nominated later, I was gonna pick between one of those. So I have my handy dandy coin. How I'm going to determine this. So the one that says PEI's Finest Golf will be the one for Lethal Weapon. The one that says the Links of Crowbush Cove, one of the greatest golf courses in Canada, that is going to be the other movie. So
both are going to make the list.
Congratulations. Lethal Weapon is making the list. So.
Fuck yeah! Oh man, I'm so hyped right now. Oh my god. Here's the thing. One, Malcolm, again, another reason why I'm questioning our friendship. Second thing, Manning, you need to watch Lethal Weapon more.
Oh, fine. Not even just gonna argue. Okay, fine.
You can't
Anyway,
argue.
talking about Manning, what is the first movie you're going to bring up?
Okay, well, this is a movie that I'm just gonna get right out of the way. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's one movie that I go back to every Christmas Eve with my family. We sit down. It's the one that's almost quintessential Christmas, and I thought just go ahead and do it because this is one when you think of Christmas, it's one of the ones that kind of brings the family together. It's a classic Christmas a movie you'll find on TCM. You'll find on various channels. That is It's a Wonderful Life. It's an amazing movie by Frank Capra. It's Jimmy Stewart is amazing. Donna Reed is amazing. It's just one of those feel-good movies from the 40s that just kind of warms your heart and it kind of stands the test of time. So that's my nomination.
Yeah, it's a yes for me. That's all that needs to be said. Matt, what do you say?
This movie is in my top 20 favorite films. George Bailey's in my top 5 characters, books, movies, whatever. The first episode of Second Look was an in-depth look into It's a Wonderful Life. I love this movie. This movie, it is a Christmas movie, but like this is a movie that I put on just any time of the year because it is one of the greatest films ever made. Even though it didn't win the top 64.
It did not.
And with that, It's a Wonderful Life gets on. Cody, what would you have said?
It's so boring. No, I'm just kidding. I really enjoyed this movie. I knew of everybody that was going to bring it up. I had bets on like what each person would bring up first. I have literally been right about every one of them. I've had conversations before with Brooklyn, so I knew Christmas Vacation, if he got the chance. Love Actually was going to be Malcolm. He was going to do Lethal Weapon, and Manning, of course, was going to do It's a Wonderful Life.
Because, you know, it's the boring choice.
So Carol, so that's yes, it's really good. There's another movie that aged a little bit that doesn't hold up around that time frame. So like I'm glad this one came up. But I really do enjoy this movie a lot. So
yeah, I mean, It's a Wonderful Life was one I thought Matt was going to bring up first, personally, because of how much I know that he loves it. So,
I would between that or Lethal Weapon, but I'd just say, you know what? Fuck it. It has a better chance of getting off.
Anyway, Brooklyn, what would you have said on It's a Wonderful Life, and what is your next pick?
Potentially dumb question, but is that the one where it's like every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I would have said yes. I've never seen the movie, but that's the only thing I know about it. So
I know this one line, so I would have said
the oldest movie that I've seen. I saw Breakfast at Tiffany's. I saw Breakfast at Tiffany's for 5 minutes, and I was like, "This is fucking awful," and turned it off.
Well, I agree, but
wait, no, dude, you racist Mickey Rooney.
I know, I finished it, but I was not a fan of it. I did not like Tiffany's character, so that's or the guy. I don't like any person in there. So,
by the way, guys, I don't promote racism. That's okay.
I'm glad.
Good to know. Enough about oldies. So, I'm gonna throw a fucking wrench into this mix. We're gonna nominate Black Christmas as the next film. This film is said to be said to have sort of really kickstarted the slasher genre. And this film does take place during Christmas. It is a Canadian-made film. It is essential to the industry, I believe. It is one that is not talked about enough. And we need a reminder that Christmas isn't always peaches and cream. Christmas are going to be shitty sometimes, and we're going to try for Black Christmas because it takes place in Christmas, and we get the slasher genre from this film.
Cody, what do you say about Black Christmas?
Who the fuck invited him on this list? Like, I thought one more thing I was going to quote Dumb and Dumber. It's like, you totally redeemed yourself, and then you threw it in the shitter. Like, you literally are Harry from that movie, and that was the worst pick ever. Top 12? That's not even like a top 30 Christmas movies. That is a terrible movie. Badder Santa is probably higher than Black Christmas. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Manning, what do you say about Black Christmas?
I had to Google it because I thought he was talking about Black Nativity from 2013. So... and I was about to say, is it really that good? I can't say yes, nor can I say no, because I haven't even heard of this film until then. When I was looking up films, I was like, I don't even know what that is. So
They
yeah,
did a remake, and it's even worse.
No, just because I have no idea what this movie is. But it's going on the list for me personally.
Matt, what do you say about Black Christmas?
What do I say about Black Christmas? What don't I say about Black Christmas? A lot, considering I haven't never seen this movie. But I know the director of it did a Never Christmas movie that we might bring up later on that we really should. But I'm gonna say no. Because even though it might have been the first of the slasher genre, really it was John Carpenter's Halloween. Which you guys all know John Carpenter. He did, of course, that Escape from New York.
Black Christmas.
Yeah, he did.
Black Christmas was first.
Yeah, it was first, but first name, as fucking you guys reminded me on your Princess Bride with Superman, first doesn't always mean best. Yeah. Think I was going to let that go, Brooklyn? No. It just got real silent.
But yeah, when it comes to Christmas horror movies, Black Christmas is nowhere near the top for me. It's definitely a hell no.
That's fine. No, I figured it was gonna get a hell no. I just, I had to try.
I already was kicked out of Canada. I'm not gonna vote for a Canadian movie.
Cody, this Brooklyn. Listen, you brought it up, and I give you credit. A lot of people wouldn't. They would have went with like this safe choices, but you and me were alike, except mine got on the list and yours didn't. But we're not going to talk about that.
I didn't expect mine to get on the list. That's essentially why I voted in Lethal Weapon and Love Actually. So
it's like, what the fuck's happening?
No idea.
But yeah, it's back to me. I'm going to bring up one that is a recent one. I've seen it 5 times since it's come out, and it's I'm pretty sure Matt has just clicked on what I'm going to say. It stars Kurt Russell as a badass Santa Claus. It is the Christmas Chronicles. I love this movie. It's fun. It is fun. I've seen it 5 times since it's come out. It's definitely one that I really enjoy. And Kurt Russell I didn't think he would work as Santa. He really does work.
Shush on.
But anyway, Matt, what do you say about Christmas Chronicles?
Oh goddamn!
Be smart.
Okay. Here's the thing. 1, Kurt Russell's Santa Claus is in my top 3 depictions of Santa Claus. I loved this movie to pieces. I've only seen it once so far. It was a really fun movie. It was a different take on Santa, different take on sort of the mythos. However, me and Cody had talked about this earlier. I'm going to say no just based on the fact that it's too new. If we were doing this rankum next year, this would get a hell yes from me. But just given the fact that it's only a couple weeks old, I personally don't think it's fair to give the Spot movie this new and take it away from better established holiday classics. That's just me. Kurt Russell's still amazing. If we were doing top 12 Santas, fuck yeah. I mean, we're doing top 12 Christmas characters. Kurt Russell Santa's being brought up, of course.
Manny, what do you say about the Christmas Chronicles?
I have not seen the Christmas Chronicles. It's not on my list to see for that quick. But I can say that I will see it now eventually because you gave pretty rave reviews about it 5 times since it came out. It came out like what, last week? 2 weeks ago.
Came out
22nd of
November.
November.
Yep.
Wow.
I had it written on my calendar. Kurt Russell movie
I
release.
am not surprised. It's gonna be a no just because how soon this is. Like anything from this year, including like the Grinch movie that just came out, not gonna be on this list just because of how recent. It needs time to marinate. It needs time to kind of like get the feelers out there to see if it's gonna be actually a film that will stand the test of time and will go beyond exactly, just, a movie with Kurt Russell that's kind of good on streaming services.
Kind of good.
Okay, that's pretty good. I haven't seen it. I can't comment on the quality.
Cody, I think I know where you're going with, but state your business.
I think this would probably be the best Santa Claus. I absolutely thought Kurt Russell is killer in this movie. At first, I thought this probably is not going to work that well, but how touching the movie really is and how good Kurt Russell is crazy. There's a part in this movie that these creepy fucking elves pop out of a fucking bag that takes this movie in a weird thing, and including one has a chainsaw near a guy's privates. I was uncomfortable for that part, and I think Kurt Russell outshined almost everybody by miles in this movie, so I don't think the supporting cast was that strong. I love seeing Manny's reaction. His face was my same reaction when I saw these elves pop up on screen. It's
I gotta watch this now.
animated real part of it, besides the reindeer. I just think it's too new, and it didn't hit with me I would rewatch that one closer to Christmas. I'd watch it probably next year, but I don't think it's that high.
Brooklyn, what do you say?
All right, so three things. One, I wanted to see more of Oliver Hudson. I was very sad to hear he was the dead dad character because I do like his work and I think he's a good actor. Second of all, if this movie is put on Hallmark, it's probably the best Hallmark movie ever. That's where it is. Third of all,
That's not a high bar to jump, though.
Third of all, the way that I describe this movie to people is: imagine you're at a restaurant and you're ordering a Caesar salad, and the waiter or waitress comes over and they put Parmesan cheese on your salad, and they're like, "Just tell me when to say stop," and you never say stop. It just adds cheese upon cheese upon cheese upon cheese.
You didn't like the rockin' scene in the jail cell?
Oh man!
He has not been able to do that since the Elvis 2 movie they did with.
I loved that part. It was so funny.
Amazing.
So yeah, if we're talking about cheesy movies or great movies that should be on Hallmark Channel, we'll say sure, but it's a nah. It's a nah for me.
Did you say Kurt Russell belongs on the Hallmark Channel? Brooke,
It is my fifth favorite movie of the 5 movies that I saw this year.
Well, it's the third. Well, it's the second favorite of the 3 movies I saw this year. Ha!
Well,
It's not going to be on Gone with the Wind anytime soon.
if you had food on Rankin slice on the Rankin bingo card, pulling a spot right now, but
Yeah, freaking reference.
But Cody, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Ooh, it's my turn.
Like the Mad Hatter. Oh, it's my turn now.
What safe choice should we expect now?
So I'm really worried, because there was a coin flip and it may not make the list, but I absolutely love this movie. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! It's Die Hard. Die Hard is one that I absolutely find so rewatchable. It's probably the part I read. This one takes place on Christmas. It's back to that human spirit. John McClane has to fight for the good of humanity and show that there's still good in this thing, and he does it in a tank top and bare feet. That's badass. So I nominate Die Hard, and if you do not vote for it, you hate Christmas. So just remember that.
Wow.
Brooklyn, what do you want to say about it?
Do you hate Christmas?
Well, I guess I hate Christmas. I'm a man of my word, and if the coin,
Why can only one action movie be on the list? You brought up Black Christmas. You sick bastard.
It is the rule that I put forth for myself that this would not just be a nostalgic fest of action movies. So I am a man of my word, and I'm going to say no to Die Hard.
Me and
yes,
Matt
Cody,
coming for you. Me and Matt are coming for you.
Manning, what do you say about Die Hard?
I've given up on the battle of trying to say it's not a Christmas movie when in fact it is. I just don't care for it as a Christmas movie, but I love it as an action movie. And it's a great movie that is undeniable. So, you know what? I consider it more of a Christmas movie than I do Lethal Weapon. So I'm going to have to say very tentative. Very tentative. Yes.
The Academy lover inside of Manning's just being crushed.
Everybody that says no to this, you know what I'm going to say.
Matt, what do you say about Die Hard?
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Yippee-ki-yay. Motherfucker. Yeah, this... Do you really think I would have nominated Lethal Weapon and not say yes to Die Hard? Lethal Weapon is my favorite action movie series. Die Hard is my favorite action movie. This gets a hell yes. I can quote the shit out of this movie. You want authorization? How about the United States fucking government? I love this movie. And by the way, what do we celebrate at Christmas? A man born to bare feet to save this world. John McClane, bare feet connection? I think so. Just saying.
Okay.
That's two Jesus references in two rounds.
It's a Christmas
the same action movies. They're both action movies.
I absolutely love his first quote where he's like, Mel Gibson, I'm pretty sure he thinks he's Jesus. He made a movie about Jesus.
See, I can give you that one. This one, you're stretching too much, man. I mean, come on.
I actually appreciate it.
I love Mel Gibson. I don't give a I'll make guys him too.
But yeah, my vote wouldn't have mattered. I would have said a tentative no. I like Die Hard.
You hate Alan
great
Rickman.
Movie.
You hate Alan
Rickman. But just on the opposite side of
part of the movie,
the same reasons as Manning is like, it's a great action movie. I wouldn't put it in the top 12 Christmas movies.
Because it doesn't have Santa. Get out of my face.
It does. It's all over the place.
But it's a fine movie. I actually like the second Die Hard more than this one, but
oh my god!
But then again, I've only seen two Die Hards, so yeah.
There's the Bohemian Rhapsody of this.
I'm sorry. Can you please just tell me and make myself feel better that the other Die Hard movie you saw was not the first one, but 4 or 5? Not Die Hard 1? Is that? I'm like, okay, yeah, no wonder.
I've seen the first one, I've seen the second one. Those are the only two I've seen, so.
Motherfucker. Okay. Let's.
Anyway, Matt, what's the next movie you're going to bring up?
Well, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, I've already brought up. So, guys, I think this is when I leave. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring up a movie that me and my siblings we watch every Christmas Eve together. This is my favorite Santa Claus. I'm bringing up The Santa Claus, Tim Allen. I love this movie to pieces. This is such an interesting take on Santa Claus that it's kind of like a Doctor Who thing where it kind of just they change. And I like how Tim Allen sort of resistant to it at first, and then he sort of just he kind of just grows into it. And he's really good Santa, and there's just a lot of really like the bit when the little girl wakes up. She's like, "You didn't drink the milk." He's like, "Because I'm lactose intolerant. You want this doll? Go back to sleep." Like, this is a funny movie. I love this movie so much. So Santa Claus is what I'm bringing up.
It's a definite yes for me for the Santa Claus. Tim Allen is definitely one of my favorite Santa Clauses. along with one of the other ones from another movie that I'm probably going to bring up later. But this is definitely great. But Manning, what do you say? And it's yes for me. Manning, what do you say to Santa Claus?
So how many movies have we said yes to so far?
6.
6. And we are
Oh, sorry.
not 6?
No, sorry, it is 6. Sorry.
It is 6, okay. Okay, so, we are slowly inching down the way of movies, and there's like 2 movies that I really would like to get on here. But Santa Claus is on my list. But the big thing is, how much do I love the Santa Claus? Because I do love Tim Allen as the Santa Claus. He might be one of my favorite performances in a Christmas movie, if, you know. Okay, I'll go with the yes. I'll go with the yes.
I knew. I could see you trying to fight it, but you can't.
Oh, yeah, I like it. It's really good.
And with that, the Santa Claus does make the list. Brooklyn.
I was going to use my save on this one if it didn't.
Oh well.
I would have been the old man in the corner and said, the old grumpy man in the corner and say no, because I like the second movie better.
Oh God!
The second movie is good. It's really good.
I love the grandeur of the second one, and I like.
Get out! Oh,
come on! It's better than the third one, at least.
Well, anything's better than Martin Short as Jack Frost.
Martin Short is a Canadian gem. How dare you talk down to him?
Martin Short's amazing. Just not him in that movie.
Back to the Santa Claus.
Well, I haven't made a rule to say that only one per trilogy can make it on, so you can bring that one up later if you want.
That's true.
But Cody, what would you have said?
I was mistaken. This is by far my favorite Santa Claus. Tim Allen Santa Claus, when he is sitting... Yeah. I mean, Kurt Russell, like, he just came... Like, I just think he's probably the most badass Santa.
Oh.
But, with Tim Allen, when he, shaves his face and he sits in the thing, he's fat, and he goes, I shave, and then I look like this! and then they're all ordering food around the table, and he's like, ooh, warm chocolate chip cookie, and he's eating it while everybody's sitting there quiet. It's so funny to me, how the whole Tim Allen's one of those comedic geniuses. He has such good timing, and just running on the treadmill with his fat belly, he just doesn't want to be Santa, but then he accepts the role. It's really good. It's really heartwarming. I think the sequels ruined it a little bit. I don't think the second one's bad. I just don't think it lives up to the magic of the first one had. Mm-hmm. And just his character of him accepting the role and trying to figure out what all this mess is. It would have been a hell yes. This movie is great.
Neil says, oh yeah, Neil's great. You should see him walk on water.
Wait, what?
I was just quoting the movie more. There's just
I was thinking
Neil walk on water.
Totally forgot about that.
In the morning, I'm getting a cat stand.
But anyway, Manning, what is the next movie you're bringing up?
Okay, now
what 1950s movie do you want?
Just for that, I'm not gonna pick a movie from 1950. So there is a movie that is from 1950 on my list. So the question is, do I do that one or do I go with the one that's a lot more recent, but I watch yearly? You know what? Let's go with one that I think won't make it, and let's prove Cody right. This is the wonderful movie that has probably one of the greatest soundtracks that you'll ever see. It is White Christmas. It's not Black Christmas. It is White Christmas, with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. This movie is an utter delight with some fantastical musical performances. One that I can just, you watch it and you just kind of have a smile on your face the entire time. Is it aged the best? Not the best, but it is a staple for the classic and the genre that it was at the time. Amazing tap dance, amazing musical sequences, and some really endearing characters in the vein of Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby. So there we go. And it won an Academy Award, so there we go.
That was literally my next nomination, and it's a yes from me.
Woo!
I love White Christmas. It is great. The music is great.
Music's great.
You can't really go wrong with Bing Crosby. Brooklyn, what do you say to White Christmas?
You can in Holiday
hell
Inn.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah!
For the soundtrack alone, Bing Crosby is a Christmas god, and he needs to be appreciated as such. So White Christmas gets a fuck yeah from me.
This
Wow.
one, the guy that John McClane got to know.
Mm.
Cody, what would you have said to White Christmas?
Sorry, I got to be the poor person in the room. This movie did not age well at all for me.
That's what I thought we were
blackface
talking about.
scene.
That's Holiday Inn. That's Holiday Inn.
Is it Holiday Inn?
It's Holiday Inn. That's why I said that has not aged well. That one is really, really... White Christmas has some like derogatory sexist things that has not aged well, but there's really some racist things in Holiday Inn.
I was assuming it was White Christmas, so that would be fine. I thought
Holiday
it was
Inn.
blackface. Yeah, so don't bring up Holiday Inn, please.
Nope. Not on my list.
That was terrible. I thought somebody... Yeah, so okay. Anyways.
They're very similar.
I like Bing Crosby for... I mean, it doesn't matter. It made the list. I just don't think it's a fuck yes. It's not like one of those automatics that I go back to. And really sad that the fuck yes, but I brought up Black Christmas beforehand, but you voted for White Christmas. This is really weird, very awkward. Brooklyn, I'm worried about you.
And as a clarification, White Christmas was the Academy Award-winning song from Holiday Inn, so they made a movie called White Christmas with the song White Christmas in there. So that's why there's some weird duality. So sorry, go on.
Matt, what would you have said to White Christmas?
So here's the thing. I've seen this movie. A couple years ago, my grandmothers were watching on TV whilst I was playing video games on the computer. And I turned over a couple times and was like, well, that seems boring as shit. No, I haven't seen it since then. So I would have said no. Just based on the fact that I heard the song, but I don't know the movie.
Fair.
But anyway, it's back to Brooklyn. What's the next movie for you?
Okay, so quick question. Are we counting the Scrooge McDuck Christmas Carol?
That was only half an hour long, so it can't count by Malcolm's rules.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with Elf. Elf is one of the best. It's one of my favorites. I want to go back to yearly. Will Ferrell, James Caan, Joey Deschanel are all great. Will Ferrell is essentially the inner spirit of like all my family members who love Christmas. That's just like it just personified into a character. And Elf does. Elf completes the impossible task of making "Baby It's Cold Outside" actually sound not that bad.
Yes,
like, aged well. It's like this doesn't sound rapey. So yeah, we'll try it for Elf.
Cody, what do you say about Elf?
I love that we're on a flippant movie show, and he votes one on for the soundtrack alone, and now he brings up "Baby It's Cold Outside" because listen, Brooklyn, this is movies. Your songs don't matter here. Go F yourself. I'm so.
But they do matter on some of the soundtracks, which you can find here on Take 3 Productions.
Hey.
So, I find Elf super annoying.
Why am I not surprised?
I like the movie for the most part, but like just Will Ferrell's like he's always over the top, but he is beyond. And I don't think there's a good counterbalance between that to make the movie work for me. Like if there was like a strong straight man the entire time to counteract
James
with Elf,
Caan.
that's not all. Yes, but it's not like continuously through. Like it almost would be like a buddy system, like somebody else that's not as cracked up. So it's not for me. Candy cane, kitty corn, sugar, Christmas. Like I don't like it. He's too much. I'd have to give it a no vote, but it's slight. But I figure it's going to make the list anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Manning, what do you say about Elf?
The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. All to hear. Also, I like Smiling. Smiling's my favorite. I can quote this movie, "You sit on a throne of lies." I can just quote this movie. This is the movie that I watch beside It's a Wonderful Life every year. Elf is just makes me so happy. Will Ferrell is, of course, over the top, but that's the character of Buddy the Elf, and it works for me because that's how I get sometimes in the holiday season. And it's kind of like, it just makes me just smile, this stupid grin that makes me really fall in love with this kind of stupidly, amazingly charming character. So,
Manny,
yes.
you know this didn't come out in the 50s or like later, right? And it didn't win an Academy Award.
It didn't? Well, then it's a no from me.
That's what I figured. I was just letting you know.
Thank you, Cody. Looking after me there. I'm blind and I'm deaf in my old age.
Mr. Magoo's here? Man, I love Mr. Magoo.
No, it is a yes. It is a yes for me. Can't.
Matt, what do you say about Elf?
This is my family's favorite Christmas movie. Literally, we watched it together on Friday. My dad came home from a work thing. We were watching it. He was pissed at us, like actually pissed that we started watching it. You could say this is nostalgia, but this movie is so much of my childhood. Quoting this movie at school, I can't tell you how many times I would, like I'd be in a classroom and I would get to pick up the phone. And I would be like, "Buddy Elf, what's your favorite color?" And the teacher on the other end would be like, "What?" I saw Bridge of Terabithia only because I had a crush on Zooey Deschanel from this movie, and so I saw that really boring ass film because of her. So thanks a lot, Zoe. But yeah, I love this movie. It's a fucking fun movie. What can you say? It's Elf.
But with that, Elf does make the list. My vote wouldn't have mattered. I do like this movie. It is high on my personal Christmas movie list, but I probably would have said no because there's some that I'm afraid are going to miss out now that they've got a whole bunch of other ones up there.
What do you mean by other ones? What are you trying to say there? Love it.
I did almost buy a Christmas sweater with the whale that says, "Hope you find your dad, buddy."
Yes.
Bye, buddy.
Hope you find your dad.
Oh, the funny thing, just quick thing, John Favreau voices all three of the little stop motion puppets in the movie.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh, didn't know that.
Buddy, you want to build some?
And they directed it, but that's really cool.
But anyway, it's back to me, and I'm going to go for a Miracle on 34th Street, and I'm going for the 1994 remake with Mara Wilson and I can't remember who played Santa.
Richard Attenborough from Jurassic Park. Is that a Christmas movie?
Because this is actually the only one of them I've seen, but it's because it's the only one that's on Netflix in New Zealand. So, but yeah, but this one I really enjoy. It's a great movie. It has a great message in it about rediscovering the meaning of Christmas. But yeah, Brooklyn, what do you say about Miracle on 34th Street, 94?
So I've never seen this movie or the original version. So coin.
No, that's a no. That's a no.
It's a no. It's a no. It's a no.
Cody, what do you say about Miracle on 34th Street, 94?
So you picked the 1994 version of this? No. I don't like it as much. I don't like it in general, to be honest with you, either one. I think it's a cute story. It just doesn't have the rewatchability for me. That like Christmas, I guess with Christmas, I want joy and I want happiness, but I also want to laugh or like be entertained to a certain extent. And I just don't think Miracle on 34th Street does that for me. So I have to give it a no vote.
Manning, I'm going to go to you. Miracle on 34th Street, 94. What do you say?
I actually didn't even know there was a remake to the original from 1994. I'm actually going to put this on my radar now because I love the first one a lot. It's one of those movies that I don't watch as yearly as Elf and Wonderful Life, but it's one of those. Pardon?
There's a lot of remakes.
I knew there was one, but I didn't know there was one with like Richard Attenborough, so I was shocked. But it's going to be a no just because I haven't seen it. I can't vote for something that I have not seen just on,
Yeah.
principle.
constitutional loan, but it's going on the list for me to see.
The cool guy says in the chat, the original was an Oscar-winning film which Manning will love.
Edwin Gwynn. There we go. There we go. Edmund. Edmund. Excuse me. Edmund.
Match. What do you say?
Here's what I'll say. Richard Attenborough's Santa Claus is really interesting. Portrayal of Santa Claus. It's funny from someone who really only knew him from Jurassic Park to see his, playing Chris it's different, but he's great in it. I don't like Mara Wilson in this movie. She's a little bit too cute and gee whiz Santa, which is nothing to the character from the original that she's playing. I don't want to say I don't like this movie, but if this was the original, I'd be saying hell yes. Since this is a 94 remake, I'm saying no. I don't want this taking the spot of the superior Miracle on 34th Street, in my opinion.
Yet both Lethal Weapon and Die Hard made the list.
Yeah, you got a problem with that? You want thoughts? Yeah.
Cody, back
Fight.
to you.
Fight.
What do you say? What's next?
So I'm going to nominate something that may get shot down because of its oversaturation. But I absolutely adore this movie. I gave myself a break a couple years back where I do not let it play on the TV for 24 hours straight because it's just too much. But now that I watch it solo by myself, The Christmas Story is so fun for me. I quote the voiceover, like the monologue stuff. It's just so good to me when he drops the bolts and he's like, fudge. But I didn't say fudge. Oh no, I said it. I said the 4-letter word. And his dad's face, and then his mom goes, "Where did you hear that?" And they say it, and he's got soap in his mouth, and you hear the mom just, "What? Oh my gosh!" And they're screaming back and forth. It's just like the fragile. It must be Italian. Like, there's so many classic lines with this that are so funny and such about shoot your eye out. Everybody wanted that one gift that you didn't think you'd get. And I think this encapsulates a kid wanting it more than anything. So I have to go with Christmas Story. I understand if TBS or TNT or wherever for you, but it is one of my favorites.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Fox doing the musical of it this year?
The musical has been running for a couple years. I'm not sure when it started, but
it's terrible.
Well, I know it's been on Broadway, but I'm pretty sure they've done a musical version. Doing a music what they normally do with the live musicals that they're doing specifically for TV. I believe they do.
I didn't hear anything about that. I know Bye Bye Birdie is going to be on one of those channels.
I think you're right, Malcolm. I'm pretty sure.
But I
know what you're talking about. I think they did that last year. Actually, I think Maya Rudolph was in it. I know what you're talking about.
They
did it last year. Yeah, Maya Rudolph.
Missed that.
Yeah. So did I. Miss that.
I missed it too. I also have not seen A Christmas Story, so I can't vote. So, Matt, what do you say about A Christmas Story?
I do not care if this movie is overplayed or whatever. You don't force yourself to watch it 24 hours straight. This movie is amazing. And what Cody said, the reason why I love this movie so much is even though this movie takes place in the 1940s and, they don't have iPhones and everything, I think anyone who's a kid, I don't even care if you didn't celebrate Christmas, your birthday, whatever. You have that one toy that you just wanted, and you remember that year where it was the top of your list, and it was the thing you were telling Santa. I remember for me, it was the year I wanted the Y-Wing they were releasing, and it was the only thing I wrote to Santa. It was the only thing I said when we went to Macy's. So I relate so much to this, and then the joy of getting it, and it just being your favorite thing, and I love, him sleeping with it in his bed, but the other moments, this movie just looks like Christmas. As someone who grew up in New York, so we actually have we get snow and everything. That the scene at the end of the movie where it's just the mom and the dad playing the Christmas music with just the lights of the Christmas tree, watching the snowfall, like that's Christmas. Like that is just Christmas to me. And this movie it's funny, it's quotable, it's heartwarming. It gets a hell yes. You're doing real good with the sound bites this episode tonight.
Manning, what do you say to A Christmas Story?
I remember seeing it when I was like little, but like I was like 7 or something. It was on TV, playing in the cycle, like Cody was saying. It just plays all the time. I remember not liking it as much as I, wanted to. But again, I was so young to the point to now where hearing you guys talk about it makes me again want to go back. This list is not fair. I don't have the time now, guys. Come on. I want to see it again because I didn't fall in love with it. But hearing you guys say these reminds me of these scenes. And it's like, okay, yeah, that actually was a good scene. Why am I being jaded about it as a kid? Maybe I need to revisit it again. At this point, I can't say yes just because personally, like, I don't remember having too fond of memories, but I won't be opposed if it does get in because it's a classic. It's a staple of a classic.
Brooklyn, you are the deciding vote.
All right, so we got Inky, Dinky, Doink, masculinely shoved into a movie because Christmas. Doink S, masculinity shoved into a movie because Christmas. Smurf and Smurfest. Also Papa Smurf.
Wait, what?
So whenever
no one understands what the hell he says. No one ever understands what the hell he says. He points.
I got it.
He talks in Canadian language. It's so fucking weird. He's on take 3 for some god knows reason. Go ahead, Brooklyn. Shit on everyone's dreams.
My dad's side of the family would probably like murder me and like chop me up in bits and like put me in like an acid bath.
Jeez.
if I voted no for this because it is my uncles and like my dad's is just probably like their favorite Christmas movie ever. So I'm gonna say yes for A Christmas Story. It is very cool. It's quoted in my family quite a bit, but I'm kind of wishing I said no now just so that Cody had to use the same.
Ooh.
And with that, A Christmas Story makes the list.
How many total do we have? 9?
Matt, you're next up. I believe it's 10.
Yeah, it's now 10.
10.
What's the? Can I get a recap?
Okay, so we have. I'm looking at it right now, so I'll say. Or I don't want to take over your show, Malcolm. Do you want to read the list?
Group chat is a glorious thing.
So we have Christmas Vacation, Love Actually, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Lethal Weapon, It's a Wonderful Life, Die Hard, You Brooklyn, The Santa Claus, White Christmas, Elf, and now A Christmas Story.
Missing White Christmas. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm up.
You're up.
Okay, so clearly, of course, now, guys, I'm bringing up Die Hard 2. No, I'm not doing that. Nice. Not even I can do it. I'm bringing up the original Miracle on 34th Street, Edmund Gwynn, Maria O'Hara. This movie is fantastic. There's not a lot to say because it's a movie that you really just have to see. Like, Natalie Wood is so good as this kid who has just been raised by a mother who doesn't want to believe in fairy tales. And it's really a movie that's about believing in something. Even if it's not Santa Claus, just believing in something and the good that can come from that. And the fact that all the characters who believe in Chris turn out being a lot happier by the end of the movie than they were at the beginning, which is a great tale for this time of year. So, yeah, the original Miracle on 34th Street.
Well, I mean, as I said, I haven't seen it, but so Manning, what do you say?
It's a yes from me. I love this movie. I was waiting for someone to say it, so yes, it's one of the top of my list.
Brooklyn, what do you say?
This is my only knowledge of Miracle on 34th Street. It is a Family Guy clip. We now return to A Miracle on 134th Street. I forgot my wallet in my car. It's still there, and then it cuts. That's like has like him looking up in the sky, and the snowflakes are falling. So yeah, I haven't seen this movie, so I gotta say no.
Cody, What do you say?
No. 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 It's boring. I don't appreciate it. I know he's going to save it. It's fine, but no.
Wow.
I mean, like with Brooklyn, this is my dad's favorite Christmas movie. So if I did not save it to make it on this list, he might kill me. So if I'm able to, I'm not even sure how the hell saving works.
I'm pretty sure you can.
You haven't used your save, so you can.
Okay, I can say
You-
no
you
because the
re-
last we were on the Arrowverse show. I didn't understand how saving worked because I was used to just panels with 3 people. So I'm saving Miracle on 34th Street.
Because you did say
you're going to
use your you did say you're going to use your save on lethal weapon.
Yeah,
so-
I'm saving my save for that, but I didn't have to. So
Saving your save.
saving my
I need a
save.
12th spot, so that works.
Anyway, it's back,
Wow.
it's back to you, Manning. Can you finish off this list?
In
I can-
1937, there was a movie that came out about Santa Claus. And I
Man,
thought
he's such a good impressionist. It sounds just like me.
And, oh my god, we are at 11. Holy shit.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna. This is one I'm surprised has not been said yet. This was not in the 1960s, nor below, or the 70s. This is actually one that was in the 90s, or was it the 80s? 89? I actually don't know. Years aren't my good, but it's Home Alone. It is Home Alone,
91.
guys. 91. Okay,
I
thank
thought it
you.
was 90.
Years are not my strong suit. Home Alone is one of those quintessential Christmas movies because the kid literally Evan is literally fighting these guys on Christmas. This is Die Hard for me in the sense of like I see this and it's not like Christmas, but it has the spirit of Christmas in there the entire time. It's not about Christmas, but it's Christmas is all around it. Plus you get John Williams' Carol of the Bells in there, and you can't go wrong with that. Home Alone. And the Wet Bandits.
I'll kick off the voting here. I think the second one is better. I don't like the first one as much. So it's a no for me. Matt.
Yeah, this movie gets a hell yes. I love this movie. I love the fact that it didn't need to be a Christmas movie, but John Hughes and Chris Columbus did a great job of like making it feel like Christmas, and it just makes the story feel better about this kid who's just a normal kid who just gets pissed at his family and then is sort of forced to go through this really traumatic experience to sort of understand how much he loves his family and everything. I think my favorite thing from this movie is not the John Williams soundtrack, which is one of my favorites, but it's Joe Pesci
Yes.
trying not to curse in a kid's movie. Watch the movie again. There are so many times where you can tell he's trying to not curse.
It's amazing.
Yeah, this movie is fantastic. Let's also give it up to Macaulay Culkin as a kid, like to keep an audience for as long as he has to by just his own self, and then also the wonderful John Candy. Polka, 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 polka.
And let's not forget, it's the origin story of Jigsaw as a kid from the Saw movies. That is a very popular fan. That is a very popular. That's setting traps, and a very popular fan theory is that Kevin is actually Jigsaw from the Saw movies.
What? I'm gonna have to read this.
Can we not ruin Home Alone?
Too late.
Cody,
Too
what do you
late.
say
3, 4,
about
5
Home Alone?
So we have Manny bringing up Home Alone, Matt agreeing, Malcolm disagreeing because he thinks the second one is better. This is a hell yes. Look what you did, you little jerk. You better come out and pound me. Like all these different things. I watched it just recently, and it's so funny. And Joe Pesci is one of my favorite actors. Because My Cousin Vinny is one of my favorite comedies. And just, I'm with you the entire time. He wants to drop about 14 billion F-bombs. But he's like, and I love the sweet justice. It's like, we get you from Burgundy. and property damage. They ran over the sinks and flooded all these houses like
We're
a
the White
moron.
Bandits. It's our calling card. You sick,
It's
Mom.
like-
You know that? You're really sick.
Yeah. And one of the most underrated comedy lines in the entire time. They just realized they left Kevin, and the uncle turns around and goes, "If it helps, I forgot my reading glasses." I lose it every time. You insensitive bastard! Like you're just like, yeah, I forgot.
Well,
that.
let's not forget it's
I
the same
think
guy.
the second one. I don't like the second one for the basics. Is that's just bad parenting. First one's a common mistake. When you do it twice, that's the problem I have with the Taken movies. That's a terrible parent. You do not get away with that.
I don't think the third movie they were actually taken, were they? They died.
Spoilers.
Who knows?
It's in the trailer.
Are we talking about Home Alone or?
Taken. The greatest Christmas movie.
Home Alone 3 wasn't even Kevin, I don't think.
No,
Nope.
it wasn't. Kevin was only in the first two.
Do not.
Or
do-
I don't
do
know. I
not-
don't know.
mm.
anything about those.
Kevin was the first two because they were both recording Culkin, but yeah. Anyway, shout out to Critically Acclaimed too. They did an episode on all 5 of the Home Alone movies. So,
In the
Brooklyn, what would you have said?
There's 5.
There's 5.
Hell?
Wait, what?
Yes,
There is
there are
5.
five.
The last 2 were
Three
straight to
theatrical
video.
released and 2 that were they weren't straight to video. They were actually made for TV for ABC. They're ABC.
What?
And Malcolm
Home Alone
McDowell is in
Taking
the
Back the
5th
House.
one. He's in the
Anyway,
5th movie.
what
Mr.
do you say about
Oscar
Home Alone?
over there.
How far the mighty have fallen.
So I've just growing up, I've never been a fan of Macaulay Culkin. I always thought Kevin McAllister was like that rich douche growing up next door that I always hated. So I don't have that nostalgic feel for Home Alone. But yeah, it is clear that I am that I am in the minority. So let's get to voting, kids.
Oh my God! Did you hear the joy in his voice? He got a Grinch smile after he said that. He's like, "Let's vote."
Anyway, that does conclude the list. I'm going to bring up some honorable mentions. Other ones I had Scrooged. I had The Nightmare Before Christmas. I had Deck the Halls. I had the Cranks up there. I had the other 2 Santa Clauses, which obviously would have made it on anyway. But yeah,
No wonder
Matt,
he made that rule.
I had,
You could bring them all to.
but
so
anyway,
I had-
Matt, what honorable
I had
mentions?
so ones that didn't get on here. I as well had Scrooge, of course, big Bill Murray fan. I had Bad Santa, my favorite R-rated Christmas movie. I actually just watched it for getting on here.
I'm on my damn lunch break.
And then I had put that cookie down now. It's double time.
No.
Jingle All the Way. I don't care. I love that movie. I love that movie. Jingle All the Way is fantastic. Down now.
Yeah, and actually looking at that, I'm surprised we didn't get any of the any Christmas Carol adaptation on this list.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
I had the
Matt,
Muppets
did
ready to
you
go.
have any honorable mentions?
Yeah. Speaking of Christmas Carol, Muppets Christmas Carol is actually one that I had. I love that one. I realize now I'm surprised it didn't get on, but oh well. And pick another one. I had Home Alone 2. I do love Home Alone 2. Not as much as the first one, but I do love that one. And then I also had, this is the far out pick no one else would probably want me to put on, but it's Krampus, the one that came out a couple years ago. I don't know why.
God.
I don't know why. I love that film. It's not particularly great, but there's something about it that I just find like
Did it
crazy.
win an Oscar?
So, no, it didn't.
Oh.
That's why it's not great.
Mm,
No, it's just
Guys,
fine.
cool guys.
But
just
no, I
remind
love
me,
it.
Rocky 4 is a Christmas movie, and I didn't bring it up. God, kicking
It's a
myself
missed
for that
opportunity.
What do we do, Matt?
one. God damn it. Cody, we failed.
I don't know how many people would have said yes to it.
I would have.
Doesn't
I would have
matter.
saved it.
We
There
would've
were 2.
saved
We would have saved
Lord.
it. There was no question.
Just say
Oh.
it don't even matter.
And Jonathan Peck, Arthur Christmas, excellent choice. I love that movie too. That's a really good one.
Cody, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yes. I had
Rocky
the Muppets
IV.
Christmas Carol. I have Rocky IV now. I have Scrooge and Gremlins.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
But there is a movie that is a guilty pleasure, so I can't make fun of Manning this bad. It's
Thank
Four
you.
Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese
Oh.
Witherspoon. Please go revisit the scene where Robert Duvall is getting considered to put a satellite dish because he literally looks at Vince Vaughn and goes, "If you think I'm letting a man in a uniform come in and touch my underwear, no." It's by far one of my laugh out loud favorite scenes because Robert Duvall dumbs himself down for a Vince Vaughn comedy, and it's so funny. John Favreau's in it. It's crazy.
I've heard nothing but amazingly horrible things. I need to
It's
see this.
terrible, but I love
Wait.
it.
What's the one with Ben Affleck? Is that Saving Christmas? or
Surviving Christmas.
Surviving.
It's a horrible movie, but in the same way. I love that movie so much.
Brooklyn, honorable mention.
Okay, so my honorable mentions were Christmas with the Cranks, one of the first movies to make me cry. Cameron Holzman, if that's the movie that I remember one, Unaccompanied Minors with I think Louis Black is in that.
Oh
I forgot
my
about that movie.
God,
That's
so
movie.
bad. So bad.
I actually like it.
Holy cow! I
my
forgot
other
about that movie.
my other super left field pick was Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. It was played a lot during my childhood and has a very sort of like
Sweet.
canned awe effect. And Iron Man 3, because if we're gonna throw masculinity and macho movies into Christmas movies, let's talk about anxiety and depression and trauma and PTSD.
Yeah, that's why we got Die Hard and Lethal Weapon on there. It's all in both
Yeah.
of those together.
Show some respect, damn it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and as Cameron says in the chat, he doesn't know if it counts. But I mean, if someone brought it up, I probably would have allowed Rise of the Guardians through. It's not.
They don't
it's
even
not-
call him
it's-
Santa Claus, though.
it's-
They call him North.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. I mean, even though they call him North, he's clearly Santa.
I mean, we
Claus.
have then again, we have two movies that don't even have Santa Claus in them. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Do
Let's
they
not
sing
forget
Christmas
that
Carol?
Christmas is about Jesus, not Santa, Brooklyn. Let's
Can't
just
forget the
remember
reason for the
that.
season.
Jesus.
Beck says that I just look at the list. We've got none about Jesus, so that's complete fail on our part.
Sorry, I should have put the nativity story in there with
I'm
Oscar
sorry,
Isaac.
time out.
Should have done
I
that.
refer you back
We
to
should have
my
done
reference
Black
for Lethal Weapon.
Nativity.
Okay?
We almost did.
I refer you back to my reasoning to get Lethal Weapon on this. So technically, in Mel Gibson's mind, we got moved out Jesus on there.
I mean, as Sandy would stay in the in one of our group chats,
Sandy
do
went
they
back.
sing Christmas carols in Die Hard and Lethal Weapon?
I think they do, actually.
Yeah.
In Lethal Weapon, I think they do.
Anyway, it's time to get to voting. To recap, our 12 movies we have is Christmas Vacation, Love Actually, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 2000, Lethal Weapon, It's a Wonderful Life, Die Hard, The Santa Claus, White Christmas, Elf, A Christmas Story, Miracle on 34th Street, the original, and Home Alone. And Brooklyn's all ready to go, I see, but I'm not going to ask him just yet.
I have my priority list.
Me too.
Same.
I'm going to start off. I've got Lethal Weapon. Matt, what do you have?
I have White Christmas.
Manning, what do you have?
I also have Lethal Weapon.
Brooklyn has
Cody,
it too.
what do you have?
Miracle on 34th Street.
Brooklyn, what do you have?
I have Macho Christmas Action Movie #1 or Lethal Weapon.
You guys are all.
See, the funny thing is that two people did not see Miracle on 34th Street, but still voted on a movie that literally they've watched. That's biased.
This is this is actually I feel personally.
I've watched the
accurate.
trailer. That's all I need to see. Yeah, okay, so that makes it the best
Yeah.
Christmas movie.
Um,
Cool.
Cody,
I mean,
when we get off this call, we're gonna have a really good chat about Lethal Weapon. That's what we're gonna do.
Can't wait for that chat.
Oh yeah,
Shut up,
pumped for that
Carolyn.
one.
I mean, for me, I'm avoiding sort of nominating ones that I've not seen, just in the case that it's just ended up being wasted nominations all the way through.
So wait, no, but Malcolm, you're okay with a movie you haven't seen possibly getting really high just because you don't vote, and maybe one that you like being lower?
It's like
Come on,
the Punisher
man. Vote
all
my
over
way.
again. It's like the Punisher all over again. Or the Daredevil.
Anyway, Brooklyn, what do you have for 11?
I picked Macho Action Movie number 2.
Oh wow.
Cody, what do you have?
Miracle on 34th Street.
Manning, what do you have?
I picked Macho Action Movie Love Actually? Wait, what? Yeah, no.
That's awesome.
Matt,
Appreciate
what
it.
do you have?
White Christmas.
Oh no.
Me and Brooklyn are strangely in sync.
Oh
my
Awesome.
Wow.
Oh.
What a
You picked
sucker.
Love Actually to be this low?
I like it. I don't love it. So
Matt,
I do like Die Hard
Matt
better.
somehow Matt is shocked about that, considering he hasn't seen it.
Wait,
Oh.
So wait, Love Actually is 11?
no,
Die
it's
Hard
Die
is
Hard.
11.
I thought you.
I said
Okay, I
me and
thought you said
Brooklyn are
Love
in
Actually.
sync.
No, it
Oh.
doesn't matter. The
Okay.
Oh,
two
I'm gonna say,
movies
what?
that the two movies that the people have seen, just because it's macho, it can't be a Christmas movie. So we're gonna pick something
Can't.
that we haven't
It's real
seen
offensive.
before. Interesting.
I didn't want to play this card, but I think if Santa and Jesus were voting on this list, they would have put Lethal
Mhm.
Weapon and Die Hard a lot higher. Happy birthday, Jesus. Sorry this rankum sucks.
I don't care what Kurt Russell and Mel Gibson have to say about our list.
Oh wow.
You don't care
Wow.
what Kurt Russell has to say about this list?
Well, you said talking
He's
about
not on the
Santa
list,
Jesus, so
He ain't on
anyway,
the list.
Damn S. Finney's coming.
anyway, for
No.
number 10,
Oh no, just Matt.
Shut up.
for number 10, I've got Elf. Matt, what do you have for 10?
I have White Christmas. Someone vote for it so I can change my board.
Manning, what do you have for
I have Love Actually, but I'm thinking about changing now because this isn't gonna go nowhere fast.
Cody, what do you have?
White Christmas. Good
Yay.
choice, Matt. Good
Um,
choice.
Brooklyn, what did you have?
I have Macho Action Movie number 3, Love Actually.
Oh no.
Fuck it.
So that
No.
means it comes down to Malcolm.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
Yeah, okay. All right.
I'd like both of them. I'm not putting Love Actually this low, so White Christmas is
Yeah,
10.
I figured.
Yay! Now they're all movies that I've seen that are left.
I don't know. It's okay. It's a deservedly 10-ish spot.
All right. That marker lasted for about 2 seconds. Giggity.
Blah, 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 blah. Put your pen back on, a moron.
Oh, this is my favorite episode of Rankum so far.
Brooklyn, what do you
Oh,
have for
shit.
9?
Just give me 2.5 seconds here.
One, two, and
I gotta use my cellular telephone here. I'll verbalize it then. Home Alone.
Cody, what do you have?
Love Actually.
Manning, what do you have?
Love Actually. Shocker.
Matt, what do you have?
I totally misspoke. I forgot Love Actually didn't make a list yet, so I still have one movie that I hadn't seen yet.
Well, it doesn't matter because Love Actually is 9.
No, but we
Oh.
what did you vote?
What
to
was
put
your-
it at 9?
It was going to be Elf.
Oh yeah, Elf. Okay.
Now I've seen every movie that's left on this list.
I mean, I'm going to get my vote out the way. I've still got Elf. Matt, what do you have for 8?
I'll probably change it just really quick. I put Miracle on 34th Street.
Manning, what do you have for 8?
It's a Christmas Story because don't remember it as well. But I like it.
Cody, what do you have?
I have Elf.
Brooklyn, what do you have?
I have Home Alone, but I don't think. Oh, yeah, I had Home Alone, but it doesn't.
Yes!
I don't think it matters.
You're all cotton-headed ninny muggins who voted for Elf. All cotton-headed ninny muggins.
Oh,
They sit on thrones of lies, Manning. They
smell like Santa. You don't smell like Santa. You smell like
And you're a sumbitch, Brooklyn. You
Thank
uncultured swine.
All right, dear diary. Today, Cody called me an uncultured swine. Didn't he?
So
But I
just
can't
to
wait till-
recap what we've still got.
Shut up,
We've
you
got
hockey puck.
Christmas Vacation. We've got How the Grinch Stole Christmas. We've got It's a Wonderful Life. We've got The Santa Claus. We've got A Christmas Story. We've got Miracle on 34th Street, and we've got Home Alone left.
Now the chat knows you're all cotton-headed ninny muggins. That's why I'm looking at you.
Brooklyn, what do you want for 7?
Still Home Alone. I don't know if you can see it.
Over a movie
Oh,
you haven't seen? Miracle on 34th Street. Like, I don't understand what's going on in this one. Like,
Manning, what do you have for 7?
It's still A Christmas Story until this one's gone. Because I like everything else.
Matt, what do you have?
So I was originally going to change my answer, but then looking at this list, I was like, actually, number 7 is a good spot for Miracle on 34th Street.
I had The Grinch.
you some.
Hey, The Grinch
Oh.
won Oscars, Manning. That makes you feel better.
It did. It did.
But with
But
that,
Christmas Story
Miracle on 34th Street is at 7.
Well, okay, I can live with that.
Well, you kind of have to.
No, you're right. I can't do anything about it.
The funny thing is, Miracle on 34th Street was not voted on by Brooklyn or Malcolm, and they'd never watched the movie.
I mean, for me, it's one of those ones like if I haven't seen it, I
That means
would
it should
vote
be
for
ranked low. You haven't watched it.
yeah, but I mean, it's one of those ones like it's also
might
a basic
like it more
vote
than the ones
if I
that
keep
I've
on
seen.
going for the one
I
haven't
mean,
seen as
the
well.
ones that you might actively hate more or dislike might go before those because you have a neutral opinion upon them.
It's
At
sort of
least
like
that's-
it's sort of like comparing, like, for me, like it's like a great grilled cheese sandwich.
Okay,
Oh
stop.
my-
Really
Somebody
shitty
mute
tuna.
him.
Yeah, people have already crossed off the food reference on the. I've got The Grinch for 6. Matt, what do you have
I
for
have
number
Home
6?
Alone for 6.
Manning, what do you have for 6?
Do you want me to say it? Christmas
my
Story.
Cody, what do you have for 6?
Home Alone.
And Brooklyn, you have to unmute yourself, but what do you have for 6?
He's been muted. We can't see it.
Unmute yourself, Brooklyn.
You can unmute yourself, Brooklyn.
Home Alone.
He's got Home Alone, I saw it.
Yeah, you have to unmute yourself.
Did he? I think we.
No, okay,
this
it's
is-
the microphone. The microphone.
It's like-
hit it.
It's like
He's
Hit it.
Canadian.
It's
He's
the
Canadian.
microphone.
He doesn't know how to do things.
Oh,
Don't
excuse
make
me.
me get vintage. I'm gonna explain
Brooklyn, you gotta hit the microphone. A. It's at the bottom. A. Don't
It's
you
a
know?
boot. A boot.
No, okay, wait, no.
broke his
I'll speak in terms that he'll understand. So it's like on a guitar with a grilled cheese. You just, in the minor of D.
Anyway, Brooklyn, what do you want for 5?
We just gonna Mr. Mime it.
I
Oh,
think he's got his head up his ass. He's probably going to vote for Black Christmas. He doesn't know how the show works. Sound it out. You'll be able to spell it. You'll do good. Oh, good job, buddy. What'd you put?
The Santa Claus. Cody, what do you have for 5?
I think this is a good spot for the Christmas Story.
Manning, what do you have for 5?
Thank you. Christmas Story. Now I can actually vote for the rest.
Matt, what do you have?
I have Christmas Story. Me and Cody, we're just one sync on this list.
I
Yes,
have the
totally
Grinch, but yeah.
What actually
We
is
got
left?
4 left.
No,
We do?
yeah. Which
Oh
is
wow!
Christmas Vacation, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life, and The Santa Claus.
Oh wow!
Wait, is Brooklyn
that-
seriously going to stay muted the whole time?
Gosh,
All right,
I
you know
hope
what,
so.
Brooklyn, I
'Cause
give
if
you
he
credit,
talks-
man. I give you. Some people wouldn't do
Because if
that.
he
I give-
freaking talks about stewed meat or freaking a nice baguette or something again, I'm gonna flip out.
I'm going to kick off the voting. I've got the Grinch. Matt, what do you have?
I have the Grinch.
Oh,
Manning, what do you
I'm
have?
sorry.
I had the Santa Claus.
Cody, what do you have?
he's making the list and checking it twice. The Santa Claus.
Oh, thank you, Bruce Springsteen.
And Brooklyn, what do you have? I think you've got one of them.
Oh, what does he got?
Santa,
Santa
Claus.
Claus.
The Santa Claus.
Oh, this is tough.
Yeah, this is hard. But
I'm gonna break some people's hearts.
Yep.
wait, you're not. Cody. Listen, I'm mad about what they did to Lethal Weapon Die Hard 2, but you don't have to punish this one because of their sins.
Brooklyn, what do you have for number 3?
A nice beef stew marinating over 45 hours of blah blah blah.
Oh, stop it, Cody. You make me hungry.
Cody, what do you have?
It's a Wonderful Life.
He hurts me. He hurt me.
Manning, what do you have?
I had the Grinch. He hurt me, Malcolm.
Matt, what do you have?
Grinch.
And I've got the Grinch as well.
Oof.
I figured. I just had to make a point.
He did. And now we know how this point's going to go. Maybe, possibly. We'll see.
I think so. But
Maybe. We're about to find out.
Malcolm's the wild card on this one.
Oh my God. Malcolm's going to vote for
He's going to vote for
Christmas.
Christmas Chronicle and screw everything up.
Oh. We'll be like, wait, what?
I saved it.
So we're voting
so
for number
it's
one,
between
right?
We're voting for number 1. It's
Okay.
between Christmas Vacation and It's a Wonderful Life.
I'm just happy that it's literally between my two favorites that we're voting for number 1, so I'm okay with 5 for 1 winning.
I just don't think you're going to go against him.
Hey, Griswold, where do you think you're going to fit a tree like that? Bend over and I'll show you. You got a lot of nerve talking to me like that. I wasn't talking to you. I hope he falls and breaks his neck. Bet you'll fall, but we're not lucky enough for him to break his neck.
Oh my gosh, I'm about to pee my pants.
But anyway, Brooklyn, what do you have for number 1? Christmas Vacation. Cody, what do you have for number 1?
Clark, Sheriff's full. Christmas Vacation.
Manning, what do you have for number 1?
I think I'm going to be outvoted on this one. It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah.
Nope.
I'm the
because
boring
I
guy.
think the final 3 will.
Oh.
Matt, what do you have for number 1?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh.
Oh, the suspense.
Well, I really want to vote against It's a Wonderful Life, but because my top 2 are not nowhere near the top, It's a Wonderful Life is number 1, but it really should be Love Actually.
Oh,
Hell
we're
no.
doing that. We're doing that kind of thing.
So that
Yes!
the second is Christmas Vacation
Woo!
and and It's a Wonderful
Oh,
Life is
No.
and
No.
It's a Wonderful Life is number 1.
Yes. First time ever something I've ever. It's the first time my number 1's ever been in number 1, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I got Grinch and Christmas Story pretty, and Christmas
That's
Vacation
very
pretty
high.
high. So cool.
I mean, my top 2 are the top on this list. I'm pissed
SA.
about 12 and 11. Bastards.
Hey, this is a pretty good list.
But anyway, the top 12 Christmas movies are according to our collective unit. Number 12 is Lethal Weapon. Number 11 is Die Hard. Number 10 is White Christmas. Love Actually is number 9, which should be number 1. 8 is Elf. Miracle on 34th Street is number 7. Number 6 is Home Alone. Number 5 is A Christmas Story. Number 4 is Santa Claus. Number 3 is The Grinch, or How the Grinch Stole Christmas, whichever they want to call it. 2 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And 1, It's a Wonderful Life. This is a solid list, and definitely one that involved a lot of debate and stuff. Coming up next week, we have got Christmas songs, which a few, I believe Cody and Brooklyn are both on.
I'll be watching the Arrowverse crossover. So I'm not on.
Yes, Matt has priorities.
I mean, I can be on the list if you want me to. I'll be mostly going.
You'll be on the
I
list.
might know a lot of songs.
My favorite song is Matthew Kearns. He's on the list.
But
My favorite song is "Shut Up, Caroline." That's
don't
Stop.
talk to my mom like that.
What
But
was
anyway,
that voice?
I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry, Malcolm. I'm sorry. Take your shot back.
But
Yep,
anyway,
sorry.
it's time to go to plugs. Matt, where can people find you online?
You guys, as always, can find me at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, MattMovie611 YouTube, and right here as host of Second Look. It looks like, just given how busy I am, sadly, I'm not going to be able to get an episode out by the end of the year. But don't worry, I will be back with episodes in January or February, whenever I can get them produced. And after this conversation, Lethal Weapon is getting a goddamn episode. And you can also find me as co-host of Rhyme and Reason with Sandy Robinson. Episode just went up today on our top 10 Star Wars movies. It's part 2 of our Star Wars discussion. The rest of the episodes for the year, we have a discussion on Superman, and then we have our last episode of the year, which is just going to be a Christmas bonanza. We're just going to talk about any and everything Christmas. And we also got something special coming out that we'll talk about fairly soon. We'll announce it. So a lot of awesome stuff coming with Rhyme and Reason.
Manning, where can people find you online?
You can find me online here at Take 3 Productions. I am the host of Gone with the Wind. So you can find me this week, probably either Wednesday or Thursday, whenever I get the video up. It'll be on there, but it'll definitely be on Wednesday this week, because this week, guys, we got the Golden Globes coming out. We're going to have our predictions set up. Malcolm's going to be on. Abe's going to be on. Ryan's going to be on. We're going to go into full depth about what to expect this week. And then we're going to have a live. Hopefully, Malcolm will be there. I don't know yet the schedule. It's going to be early, so his schedule will be different because he lives in New Zealand. So it might be late for him. Could be early. We're going to find out. But yeah, we're gonna be live here, so you guys can watch along with us and react with us. It'll be a lot of fun. Also, guys, just so we are all aware, you can find me on Twitter at Cine_Man. That's CINE_MANN, where I do a lot of stuff there now. I'm starting to really get into it. And before I go, Home Alone: The Holiday Heist is the 5th episode in the Home Alone franchise, and it is on ABC Family in March 15th of 2012. It is the 12 Days of Christmas.
That recent?
2012, guys. That recent.
That
It's been going on for that long. I have been reading that for the past little bit because I am now utterly fascinated the fact that they decided to continue this franchise. That is all.
Cody, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Wednesdays doing watch along with Robert Parker. We're doing The Grinch this week. If you think you can be on our panel, well, you can't. Thursdays, you can watch me defending my mini speed round debate championship of the Worldwide Movie Games Network on Full Metal and Multiplex and Chicken Wings. I don't know. You can find me Friday helping with Full Metal Geek over there on Full Metal. You can find me here on Rankum as the grumpy old man that disagrees with everybody except that was Brooklyn this episode. Yeah, and you can find me tomorrow on Dance Off here on Take 3 Productions on Jukebox Trivia, kicking that man's ass, Brooklyn, the Black Lantern Vale, in his own arena in music. So 4 Point Gate is going to win 3-0. So you come watch, it'll be a blast. Brooklyn will probably cry, and it'll be fun to watch.
You mean the Black Christmas fail? Because
Black.
Brooklyn, where can people find you online? Are you going to unmute yourself?
Oh my god.
oh, you're kidding me.
Mother.
You're kidding me. He wrote it out.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Oh wait.
I gotta read
Do we
this.
want Vinny to read it off? I could get
Sure,
Vinny.
no.
No, I could get Kermit.
No.
I think we broke him.
Hey, well, Kermit the Frog star of
Okay,
number one.
You can find Brooklyn on Instagram and Twitter, the real BK10, the number, not the word. You can also find him on Take 3 Productions, running 1 but 2 shows. Maybe we'll find out if the petition's happening this week. He hosts Jukebox Trivia, but not this week. He's going to be beaten by Cody, which is also a music trivia and countdown show. You can also find him on Thursdays hosting late night. Once again, maybe not this week. This week, Cody won something and gets to pick the theme for it.
Oof.
And you can also find him on Full Metal Trivia, jobbing to better players. I mean, he just put jobbing to better, did finish the word. And on Morning Text finishing pulling whiz out of his ass. And books are the best Christmas presents, apparently.
Wow. Books are the best Christmas presents.
Yeah,
Wow.
just like
and they say I'm the old one.
Who uses Notepad on the computer? What the hell? Good lord.
Well, apparently Brooklyn
get
does.
Microsoft off. Get out of here.
But anyway, as for me, you can find me on Take 3 Productions, where I host Rankum every week. And next week is Christmas songs. Both Cody and Brooklyn are both going to be there talking about songs. Will Brooklyn get his way for a lot of them, considering music is his area? Who knows? But Cody probably won't let that happen. But yeah. You can also find me competing in trivia on Full Metal and singles and well, maybe singles. I don't know, but definitely in teams with Manning. You can also find me competing in multiplex and fandom fight, and that you can find me in fandom fight teams alongside Matt Kearns and taking on everyone that comes our way, and winning all those belts. You can also find me on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Stardust at Malcor. And until next week, see you in New Rankum.
Leap